Welcome back to Dark Souls. My name's Gordon, or This Dying Earth. In the previous episode, we defeated the Capra demon, and we've made our way down into the depths. And in order to progress through the depths lead you to Blighttown, the mouth of Blighttown, and we need to defeat the boss here to get the key to Blighttown. And I've upgraded the bow. This is a long bow, I think, and it's recommended that you at this point have an upgraded bow. Yeah, I would say that's something that's worthwhile pursuing before you come down here, because there's a few annoying niggly wee enemies down here, like the rats and torch hollows and stuff, that you want to kind of maybe just like kind of pick off or pull from distance. A moment ago we just got a wee swatch of the king rat, or whatever it's called, that we'll be taking on soon. And a weapon like the halberd with its spin to win attack is fantastic down here. Absolutely fantastic. You're in these tight corridors. If you can get the timing right and you can do the spin, you're going to take out multiple enemies at once. We got a wee clue there. Do you notice the wee rat on the left? It was like a wee miniature rat, and he kind of runs along as you approach him. That is a clue to, I think it's a clue anyway, about what's about to happen. I.e., you're about to get sabotaged or surprised by the rat jumping out of the crate. And these were obviously the first Gravelord Phantom rats that we encounter. And they're... do they present a challenge? No, yeah, under certain circumstances. Compared to other Gravelord Phantoms that we've encountered, they're not as challenging. But as you'll see later on in the video, if we get caught out in a tight space by them, yeah, they can inflict poison quite quickly. And they're just an extra challenge, but they're not supremely difficult. So we picked up the sewer chamber key there, and that's the one that allows you to open the door, I think. A shortcut back up to the bonfire, which will open later on. So first we're going to go deal with the channeler, because before you take on the boss in this area, you really are recommended to take out the channeler, because the channeler, like we've seen in the Undead Parish, buffs nearby enemies, and just makes things a lot more challenging. And he can buff the boss. He can buff the boss. So you can hear him muttering to himself. I wonder if that channeler in the Undead Parish got lost in the torch hollows. That's why he's surrounded by torch hollows. They're all trying to give him directions and whatnot. Sorry, I'm just being silly. But yeah, I love the beautiful, attention to detail on the channeler's armour or outfit, or whatever you want to call it. It's just, it's so intricate and detailed, and somebody's put a lot of effort and love into it. I wonder if it was Seif the Scaleless himself. So again, a wee surprise here from the rats that hide in the crates. And over here, so you think the same thing's going to happen again, but no. So they build up suspense, FromSoft, by doing wee touches like that. So down we pop into this wee part. You seen us, we crossed that wee gap earlier on before we had the channel, and this takes you down. It's like a wee shortcut down to another part of the depths, and that enemy there is the basilisk, and they are a major pain in the arse, and they spew out this like smoke that's filled with curse. And I believe, so again, these are the kind of enemies you can take out with an arrow, like bow and arrow, or fire bombs, throwing knives, these kind of weapons or armaments. They don't have much health, so they're kind of relatively easy to take out. But yeah, if you get cursed, you're then, for the remainder until you get cured, you've only got half health. And I think, yeah, you're locked into being a hollow. and you can't reverse that by going to a bonfire and, you know, consuming a humanity, or reversing your hollow and using humanity. So yeah, that's a nifty wee trick, just to kind of pop out behind him by falling down from the ledge, and yeah, just coming up, sneaking up behind him and killing him. So we get the humanity here. That just kind of, it's right next to the area where we just killed all those basilisks. And the Ring of the Evil Eye. The Ring of the Evil Eye allows you to get like 30 health points back from each kill, and it can be quite good at offsetting some of the damage that you take on when you're using other, you know, when you're using certain weapons. That, like, you know, like by using them, you know, your health ticks down gradually. But yeah, see, the rats have this ability to stagger you, and that's when they become dangerous. And this wasn't a clever idea, you know, I should really have taken all these rats out before Nightcurk invaded, but I was a bit of a laggard here. And Nightcurk isn't the fastest enemy in the game, so here he is. Nightcurk, or Kirk Knight of Thorns I think his official term is, or name is on a mission on behalf of the Fair Lady, which is the Witch of Isil's daughter, or who is the Witch of Isil's daughter, and the sister of Quailag and Quailana and so on and so forth. And she requires humanity, and so Kirk has very nobly set out to retrieve that humanity for her, until he meets blokes like ourselves who just, like, you know, stick halberds through his chest or sternum, or thorax, or whatever the anatomical term is. And just pointing out here, this is a shortcut from, see the area with the massive rat, the king rat or whatever it's called. That is a shortcut, you can slide down there. This area without the Gravelord Phantoms, this area is kind of timid and a bit disappointing, to be honest, considering it's the, you know, penultimate area before you both enter Blighttown and you take on the boss. You would think that this area would be a lot more challenging, but it's not. And even with the Gravelord Phantoms, it doesn't really present much of a challenge. It's more like you've just got to be diligent and wary of where the Gravelord Phantom rats are. But yeah, I mean, this to me is a bit of wasted potential. This could have been a fantastic wee corridor here, you know, where you're really toughly challenged before you get to the boss. And here's Domhnall of Xena. And he's like he says, trader of trinkets and so on and so forth. He has the crystal weapons. This is just to basically enable the player to ensure that the player has a decent enough weapon when they're facing the gaping dragon. But the most important precious thing that he sells is this, the gold pine resin. And buy it all. He only sells free, unfortunately, each playthrough, but buy it all at this point if you have the souls. And because we spent some money with him, he's given us some advice. So we know that means, you know, we can infer that he's been in the catacombs yeah? The fact that he knows how to deal with the reassembling skeletons, as he puts it. Another interesting thing about Domhnall of Xena is that he, well, he's down here, and so he's obviously expecting people to pass through here and maybe in their way to Blighttown. And yeah, there's some other things I want to talk about with Domhnall, but I'll come back to them in a moment. So we've got the boss here. This is the Gaping Dragon, and his entrance, which I haven't included in this video, is one of the best in any of the Soul series. You see this small, insignificant, crocodilian looking creature appearing over the horizon, and then all of a sudden you see this vagina dentata beast appearing behind this insignificant sclaf of a head. But that's not even a word, sclaf, I don't even know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we've summoned Knight Solaire for this fight. Interesting that Solaire's down here, and we know that at one point in this, Solaire talks about Twilight Blighttown. So again, we can infer that this is, you know, we're encountering a version, or no, we're encountering Solaire. We know that time is convoluted in Lordran, so we're encountering Solaire just before he enters Blighttown. And he would have had to have defeated the Gaping Dragon too in order to get the key to Blighttown. But yeah, Solaire in this fight is pathetic. I mean, honestly, I have no idea how the guy managed to make it, to do it on his own. Well, there's dead now already. Let's assume he didn't do it on his own. Maybe he got help, because you can also summon Lautrec here. So maybe, you know, he teamed up with Lautrec to kill the Gaping Dragon. Kind of disappointed in Solaire, you know, for being, we can probably safely say he's Gwyn's firstborn son. You know, he's not the greatest combatant. But anyway, this turned out to be a waste of gold pine resin because I wasn't able to get many hits in against the Gaping Dragon while the buff was on. And for some reason they started, I say he, whatever, doesn't matter, but it got itself into this cycle where it kept launching itself into the air to do the slam attack, or well, this is a slam attack, but to, you know, the drop attack or ass attack, which is From Software so want to employ in each boss fight. But yeah, and then this is bullshit. For me, this was bullshit. He's like, you know, the edge of his claw touched my ankle or something, and that's me dead. So that felt like a waste of gold pine resin, and gold pine resin is humanity, the kind of things I'm wanting to conserve in this playthrough. And that was a fucking pain in the arse, because that was me just panicking because I'd been poisoned by the rats were, you know, chewing down my health. Yeah. So 2 wasted gold pine resins, not happy. So yeah, what I was going to say about Domhnall of Xena. Oh yeah, this is another cheap death. So look, there's the thing, like I was saying, you have to be careful in these corridors. You know, the rats come up behind you, the Gravelord Phantom ones. I'm panicking to escape. Panic is the penultimate moment before your doom in Dark Souls. You know, that's when you know you're about to die. If you feel like you're starting to, you know, you're in fight or flight response, you're about to die, or there's a very good chance of it. You always, in Dark Souls, you want to be in control and feel cool and calm and, you know, collected. But yeah, and the other mistake I'd made was I hadn't come back to open that shortcut, and that was the reason I had to go the long way around and ended up getting killed again. So died twice on the way here, back to the boss, and I lost. That was, yeah, I mean, it's just so much waste down here. 2 gold pine resin, what else? There was something else I wasted, and yeah, humanity. I mean, I lost all my humanity, which I think there was 9 of them. But anyway, this is me going to kill the boss. Not the best fight I've had against Gaping Dragon in both fights that you've seen in this episode. But maybe it was to do with the weapon I'm using, I'm not sure. It's probably just down to me. Anyway, yeah, before this episode finishes, just quickly, Domhnall of Xena. So he's this sagacious character, you know, he's wise. I think he's called Domhnall the Wise. Is he? No. He sells is it the armour of the wise? The helm of the wise. So we can connect him to, you know, wisdom, sagaciousness. And yeah, so he's sitting outside the doors to Blighttown, and yeah, he offers us advice when we spend money with him, you know, about the catacombs, rather than advice about where we're going to, you know, eventually be going to, Blighttown, which is right in front of us. So he was maybe wise enough, intelligent enough, clever enough to avoid actually going into Blighttown, but knew that, you know, potential heroes, explorers would make their way through the depths. Watch out, that's a very dangerous move, and I'm very lucky there I did not die. This is a dangerous situation because I've got the 2 red Gravelord Phantoms and they can inflict so much damage. But yeah, so he knows that Domhnall knows that there's going to be explorers down here, and he's here to sell them stuff, but he's not stupid enough, and that's a painful death. These guys, when they do the torch charge attack, can just decimate your health so quickly. So that's why he was my first target when I came back here. But sorry for all these staccato, you know, snippets of knowledge and whatnot. Let me try and finish what I was going to say about Domino. Yeah, I think I'd said what I wanted to say actually. Yeah, he's next to the edges, and yet he doesn't share that information with us. So we can maybe infer that Domino's not been down into Blighttown. Right, let's move on to a new subject. So here we go, we're going to take on the big rat, King Rat. And we've got an extra wee enemy down here. Normally this Gravelord Phantom rat isn't here, or like its normal form, it's not here either. It's just the big massive rat that's down below. And they become a nuisance really, these Gravelord Phantom rats, rather than, you know, a massive challenge, as I said earlier in the episode. And if you jump and do a plunging attack, you'll get a lot more damage off against the giant rat, and I think that's the first time I've actually killed him in a winner at this stage in the game, if it hasn't been New Game Plus. So this is a wee shortcut I was talking about. I'm actually kind of hungry, so maybe a Freudian slip. Could be worse. Could have mentioned something about. Anyway, we've got the key now to the depths, and if I can extricate myself from this precarious situation, then yeah, we'll make our way there. Did I say I've got the key to the depths? I think I meant to say I've got the key to Blighttown. Yeah, sorry, you can see that lack of sugar or lack of food is making me a wee bit loose in terms of speech. So we open the doors to Blighttown, and the interesting thing is you get this colour change, like, you know, the tone. It goes from, you know, kind of browny sepia colours to this kind of greeny algae type hue that kind of permeates the area. So you can make these guys jump to their death like that. I think we've dealt with some of these big guys earlier in the Let's Play. But if you can parry these big guys, then, you know, you've got a major advantage against them. You can also backstab them. Their large club inflicts poison or toxin, so just be wary of that. And you want to have, I think it's just poison, so all you need is the purple moss rather than the blooming purple moss. And dung pies, they're actually kind of handy later on when we get to the swamp area, because you could actually toxic yourself, and that takes your health down a lot slower than the normal toxic effect, which is, you know, inflicted by the dart. These guys, the dart blowing guys. Oh no, that's not the dart blower, sorry. So these are the Gravelord Phantom versions of this enemy, whose name I've now forgotten and I've not written down in front of me. But yeah, they are actually quite dangerous, especially if they do their like freak out attack against you, which is the kind of the rapid slashing horizontally of their blade. Then that can inflict a lot of damage against you very quickly, especially at this level of health or vitality. So this is the blow dart chappies, and they are very annoying. But they tend to give up. They're quite generous in terms of what you can get back from them if you kill them. I know the name of this enemy and it's really annoying me that I can't remember it, just like earlier in this Let's Play through when I couldn't remember Lautrec's name. But yeah, so this is your first foray into to Blighttown, and it's a good introduction to the area. You know, you're met with its main threats straight off the bat. These guys, which are the kind of main enemies down here, the big chappies, which we get down in the swamp, and the exit towards like Firelink Shrine, and the blow dart guys, we've at least one of them to deal with. And if you've never been through here before, this is your first time, you get a real surprise when these blow dart guys start to attack you, because they just kind of appear out of nowhere. These are the other type of enemies, the kind of alternative from the normal enemy. They're wielding it's like a doll or a person or something. A lot of people miss this treasure. If you pop down here, there's a soul item to pick up, And the funny thing is, you know, I picked the difficult one up, and then I missed the obvious one, which is right in front of me, which is just to my right there. And I know it's there, I must have forgotten. And we've got the dogs to deal with here. If you come this way, you just roll off. Watch out for the dogs which breathe fire, they're a pain in the arse. And then just make your way to the bonfire. And yeah, you're safe. And that's you in Blighttown now. And you can actually see, as ENB mentioned in his recent video, I highly recommend you watch all of those, excellent. You can see Firelink Shrine. Thanks for watching.